Europe will not passively observe America's actions over Ukraine. Following the war in Ukraine, Europe is at a turning point. In negotiations to lessen their dependency on the US to handle the crisis, European leaders are taking the initiative. It was referred to be a historic turning point by British Prime Minister Keir Starmer during a crucial London summit. Starmer demanded immediate action rather than idle rhetoric. Diplomatic tensions between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and US President Donald Trump have accelerated the Lancaster House summit, where European leaders are attempting to work out a plan for a ceasefire in Ukraine. Donald Trump used foul words to disparage Zelensky during the US-Ukraine president's meeting. European leaders made the decision to become more involved in this matter. A proposal has been accepted by Starmer, French President Emmanuel Macron, and a number of other European nations. If this idea is approved, they believe it will ease wartime tensions and create the groundwork for a lasting peace. A month-long ceasefire in the air, sea, and energy infrastructure will be the first stage of the suggested plan, Macron told the French newspaper Le Figaro. Discussions will then start at the lowest level. The European endeavor is viewed as a substitute for Trump's earlier discussions with Russia. Many worry that the Trump-Putin negotiations may overlook Ukraine's interests. However, Starmer agreed that without US assistance, no lasting solution is feasible. He added that no matter what, Europe is committed to fulfilling its commitments. The goal of European leaders is to prevent Russia from unilaterally dictating the parameters of any agreement. A ceasefire should start with humanitarian measures, such as a prisoner exchange, the return of Ukrainian children kidnapped by Russia, etc. If these measures are agreed upon, it can be interpreted as a sign of Russia's goodwill for peace. Ukrainian President Zelensky welcomed the conference and said that European unity is currently at a historic high. Starmer emphasized that it is equally important to effectively protect any agreement. The alliance will work to secure military and other essential supplies for Ukraine after a peace deal is reached. The diplomatic endeavor coincides with growing concerns of division in the Western world, amidst harsh criticism of Zelensky by Trump and his close aides, including calling the Ukrainian president ungrateful to the United States. European leaders have expressed deep concern over the incident, and Starmer promptly reached out to them to reaffirm their commitment to Ukraine. The conference's outcomes reflect this prompt action, as it announced a number of financial and military assistance to strengthen Ukraine's defense capabilities, including a $2.8 billion loan approved by the United Kingdom and funding for the acquisition of advanced air defense missiles valued at an additional $2 billion. Even though Zelensky is aware of the European initiative, he has not yet made any clear support for the proposed ceasefire. Meanwhile, French leader Macron has voiced doubts about the unilateral ceasefire decision between the United States and Russia, believing that if such an agreement is reached, Russian President Vladimir Putin will use it as a tool to weaken and humiliate Ukraine. He has suggested setting up a monitoring mechanism to ensure the implementation of the ceasefire. The leaders of the European Union, NATO, and other nations made a commitment to prevent division in the Western world on the Ukraine issue, and Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni cautioned that it is vital to prevent division in the Western world. The London conference marked a shift in the direction of the war in Ukraine, with Europe now playing a far more active role than before. The decisions made at this conference will define the future if the battle goes on. European leaders have come to the conclusion that the time has come to restore Europe's security framework, and to guarantee that Ukraine may leave this conflict with its sovereignty and independence unaltered. It remains to be seen if the United States and other global powers would back this European endeavor. However, one thing is for sure, Europe will no longer stand by and watch as America makes the decision about Ukraine.